Alright, boys and girls, it is cupcake making time. So on your desk you have a silicone cupcake mold, a half of an Easter egg, some clay wrapped in some plastic, and a slip bowl with some slip in it and a toothbrush to slip and score. The first thing we need to do is we need to take a portion of our clay, squish and mold it into a ball. Actually, we're going to take all of our clay. Let's do this. Take all of your clay, squish, tap, pat, smash, all into a ball. Make it into a big soft ball. Okay? Tap it. It doesn't have to be smooth, just needs to be kind of round. Okay? The next thing we need to do is we need to take these two fingers and squeeze him in the middle. I am squeezing and turning, squeeze and turn, squeeze and turn until he looks like an apple core. Somebody ate my apple. I'm going to take both ends of the apple core and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to take this, set it over here, put it underneath my plastic. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to smash it back into a nice little ball. I'm going to apple core it. I'm going to squeeze it in the middle. Squeeze and turn. Squeeze and turn. When I get it looking like an apple core, I'm going to take both ends and twist. Now, I've got two equal pieces. They need to be equal in size. That means if this one is a little bigger than this one, which it is, I'm going to pinch some off. I'm going to stick it over here, and then I'm going to feel it in my hands. That feels about right. I'm going to take this piece, put it in my cupcake mold. I'm going to take this piece and stick it underneath my plastic. You don't have to smash it with the other ball, just stick it under the plastic. Now, we're going to make the bottom of our cupcake. So this is what our goal is today. We're going to make the bottom of our cupcake. It needs to be hollow in the middle. It needs to be hollow in the middle. And it needs to have these ridges on the outside. That's going to come from this mold here. So we're going to take it, we're going to stick our finger in the middle, and we're going to push down almost to the bottom. Okay? Then we're going to take our fingers and start quacking. Thumb in the middle, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn. We're pulling that clay up the side of our cupcake mold. We're not pulling it out. If you start doing this to your cupcake mold and flattening it out, that's not going to work. See? We don't want it to look like that. We want it, squish it back in. We want it to be straight, the sides to be straight up and down. Pinch and turn, pinch and turn. Okay, and I'm kind of smoothing it in the center. Alright, we don't want these sides to be too thin. If they get too thin, they won't hold up. Now, I'm going to tap 1, 2 on the bottom. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to tap 1, 2 on the top. And that gets me a flat top for my cupcake topper to sit on. Okay? 1, 2 on the bottom. 1, 2 on the top. Now, to take this out is super easy. You take your fingers, you put them on the bottom of your cupcake mold, and you take the wrapper, basically, and you pull it wrong side out. So easy, goes so smooth. Set this off to the side. Don't play with it anymore. This cupcake mold, see how it's rounded on the bottom? It needs to be flat. Okay, so flip it back over and set it to the side. Now we need to use our half of an egg. We're going to take this big piece. I need this big piece. I need you to start squishing it into a burrito. Okay? I need it into a burrito. So I'm taking my fingers and I'm turning it and squish, turn and squish, turn and squish. Okay? When I get it long enough that I can start rolling it, I'm gonna set this up here. Okay? When I get it long enough that I can start rolling it, I'm gonna start rolling it back and forth. I need to make a coil. A coil is just a fancy word for a snake. Now you need this coil to be about as big around as your thumb and about as long as your arm. I know, right? So that's about as big around as my thumb, and it's about as long as my arm. Okay, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna set my egg on the table. I'm gonna take this coil and I'm gonna wrap it one time around my egg, and I'm gonna keep it kind of tight. Now, when I get here, I gotta step up. I'm gonna step it up onto that coil, and I'm gonna go around again. Okay? And I'm gonna keep spiraling up, 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 up. Skinnier and skinnier and smaller and smaller. Now when I get to the top here, if I have too much clay, I'm gonna pinch it off. Okay? And there is my cupcake topper. I'm gonna dip my finger in the slip and I'm gonna get rid of all that elephant skin that's on the outside. I'm gonna go around it and smooth out all those cracks. Smoothing out the cracks. So it's nice and smooth. See how this is all cracky right here? This is all smooth. Now I want to give it a tap on the bottom so it flattens this out. I'm going to reach in here and I'm going to gently wiggle this out. Okay, we don't need to leave that in there. That needs to come out. Now I'm also going to take my slip and I'm going to smooth in here. Okay, I'm holding it like a cup with my hand, supporting it with my hand, and I'm smoothing this out in here. I need all this clay to stick together. I'm putting my thumb in and pulling it out. Okay. And there's my cupcake topper. Now, if you want a cherry on top, you have some extra clay laying around, just pinch you off a little piece of clay. Make sure your extra clay stays underneath your wrap. Pinch you off a little extra clay, roll it into a ball. Slip and score everything. Sticky plus sticky equals more sticky. So I'm going to slip and score here. I'm going to slip and score here. And I'm going to stick that cherry right on top. I might want a stem. On your desk, I'm also going to give you some of these skewers. I'm going to roll it in my hand like this to make a little sticky stick. I'm going to poke a hole in the top of that cherry. I'm going to slip and score on the end of my stem, and I'm going to stick it down in there. And then curl it around. Just like that. Okay, now you can decorate the top of your cupcake any way you want. So here's my cupcake. Alright? So now the part that we have to do is you have to decide what you want to do on the outside. You want sprinkles. You can take this skewer and you can just poke it so it looks like it has sprinkles. Okay? That's totally up to you. That's what I like to do. Just give it texture. Not too much, just a few pokes here and there, so it looks like it's got sprinkles on it. Okay? Now, I need you to write your teacher code in here, and that's going to be hard. If you have trouble, let me know and I'll help you. I'm going to write my initials in there. And then on the bottom of your cupcake, we got to write your teacher code on that as well. These two pieces will come to the shelf all by themselves, not put together. If you put these together, guys, the weight of your topper will squish your bottom. We need those to be separate because I'm going to fire them separate in the kiln like this, and then they'll stack. Okay? So, when you're finished with your a cupcake topper, bring me the topper and the bottom. That's it. That's all you need. Oh, and your extra clay. I need your extra clay and your plastic. Okay? Bottom, top, extra clay, and plastic. Those are the only three things I need for you to bring me over to the table.